Well. Bangladesh, looking far more determined, looking far more aggressive, have posted 306 for 8 versus Australia. The star of the show, young Tauhid Hridoy, with a brilliant 74, aided by some good knocks from Captain Nazmul Hossain Shanto. Mahmudullah may be playing his last ODI for Bangladesh. So, if you look at it, everybody struggled from Cummins going at 7, Sean Abbott going at close to 6.1 economy rate. If you look at that way, Zampa had an excellent match, 10 overs, 2 for 32, yet again showing why he is the best. Hazelwood, Cummins, I mean, if you look at this Australian bowling lineup, not restricting a Bangladesh side to 300, to under 300 is a cause for concern.
But I mean, look at some of the bowlers also, there was contrast, because some were very economical. Hazelwood went at 3, Abbott 6.1, all things considered is par for course. Zampa 3.2, Travis Head 5.5. But that's offset by Mitchell Marsh bowling 4 overs and going for 48. Exactly. And Marcus Stoinis has 5 overs going for 45. Yeah. That's nearly 100 runs, by the way, that have come from just 9 overs. It's not good. It's not good.
And that's why there is a major problem when it comes to the bowling, when it comes to Australia. Remember, they have rested Mitchell Starc today. They have also rested Glenn Maxwell. So that's why you lost 2 bowlers who could have actually kind of pegged the score back. But again, remember, Mitchell Starc has also been very wayward. And that's why, if you look at it, this bowling performance was kind of expected. But Hazelwood right at the top doing the damage, really awesome the way how he was bowling.
I mean, no wickets, but look at that, 21 runs.
Ugh, in these flat conditions. And on top of that, Pat Cummins now seriously leaking a lot of runs.
And I think a very big reason they tried Mitchell Marsh and Stoinis to chip in some overs today was that their bowling hasn't been firing in this World Cup. So they get into the business and they want that extra cushioning to their bowling. And I think that has also not worked for the Australians. So bowling is definitely a concern for them.
It is a concern because remember, if you look at their wins, they did well against Sri Lanka with the bat, with the ball also. Against New Zealand, they were found out almost. But then they did well against Afghanistan's batters also took a liking to them. But remember, that was a flat deck in Mumbai. Yeah. And then if you look at it, Pakistan also conceded, they were conceded 300 even against Pakistan. So against England, it showed how poor England's batting was in retrospect, because if you look at it, they could have actually chased the total down.
Correct.
But they lost wickets at crucial intervals. And that's why Australia may be under a 6-match winning streak. But looking at their performance against Bangladesh, serious concerns over their bowling, which I may add. And there will be good news for South Africa, whom they are facing in the semi-final in Kolkata. Because remember, South Africa have held the edge against them. And it's primarily been the bowling that's let Australia down. Remember, in whatever games they have lost to South Africa, be it that Centurion match where they conceded over 400, be it the game in Johannesburg where they conceded 316, be it against South Africa, even here in Lucknow, they conceded 330. Whenever they have conceded a lot of runs, maybe about 290 or 300, they have struggled. And that is why I see that if South Africa bat first, and they get to 350, then I think this Australian batting lineup has had it. They are not going to do well against the South African bowling. That looks far more deceptive. If you add a Gerald Ketsia in, then Rabadas and maybe Ngidi might concede runs. But remember, Ngidi does get you wickets. Keshav Maharaj is in good form. And remember, chasing in Kolkata is never ever easy. And that's why it's not going to be good news for Australia. This match, if you have to look at what are the weakness areas, the bowling, especially the fifth bowler's option, minus Glenn Maxwell, lacks a lot of potency.
Yeah, because I think even with Stoinis, the concern always was his bowling can be hit or miss. Today it was very much miss. Marsh having to bowl 4 overs is a bit of a surprise in itself, considering he hardly bowls that much nowadays. Is very much a break glass in case of emergency option. So it's pretty much what would have happened here. But 48 runs, I mean, look, even Bangladesh, you have to give them credit. They targeted certain bowlers. They targeted a Mitch Marsh. They targeted a Marcus Stoinis. Even Abbott, despite the fact that he got those 2 wickets, going at over 6 and over, I mean, they targeted him too. They definitely went for Cummins. And I think, they were very, very smart with the way they operated. Over 300. That's a pretty good total.
Just look at the strike rates of the Bangladeshi batsmen. It's from the beginning, it's been above 100. See, openers Hassan starting off with 105. That strike rate just shows with the intent the Bangladeshi players have played, and they have shown that they have nothing to lose, and that's exactly what they have done. They have come out and played freely and given them a very good chance in this game. I feel so.
However, see, if you look at why Abbott, Cummins, and all went for runs, the problem was that Tanzid Hassan in particular and Litton Das both went after, you may look at Cummins, they went after Cummins in the power play. Nazmul Hussain Shanto also did that, and that's why 76 for 1 in 11 overs. They were going at close to 7 an over. And then came the chokehold in the middle from Adam Zampa and even Travis Head to that matter. That's why if you look at Bangladesh's bowling lineup, you've got Nasoom, you've got Mehdi. They could potentially pose a big threat to Australia in that sense. And that's why there's also Mahmudullah you can turn on to. And that's why Mahedi Hassan, Mustafizur Rahman, Taskin Ahmad and Mehdi Hassan Miraz, all of them can be slightly tricky on a tacky wicket here. I think Australia missed their lengths in the middle overs. That's why the likes of Cummins and you may say Abbott went for runs. Abbott in particular was taken to the cleaners by Tanzid Hassan. That's why he made a good recovery. But serious concerns about the bowling, and that's why when Stark and Maxwell return for the game against South Africa, that will be huge. And I think, see, look at the way how Tauheed Hridoy was going about it. I think one major star to emerge out of this Bangladesh lineup in this World Cup has been Tauheed Hridoy.
Yeah.
Along with Tanzid Hassan. Because Tanzid Hassan, I think, got a 50 even against India in the same World Cup, in this match in Pune. He's done well with 36, but Tauheed Hridoy, I think from that batch, under 19 batch, he's one of your best players there. And remember, Mushfiqur is also living on borrowed time. Mahmudullah might be playing his last game. I think they have a next generation in place.
I mean, don't forget, you're talking about these batters, the captain, Najmul Hassan Shanto, also a relative youngster. Then you've got, of course, a Mehdi Hassan Miraz, someone who until recently they were opening with. So they do have high hopes from him with the bat as well, although I think he's better suited to a lower order role, because even today, he comes in, hits those few runs, 29 or 20, strikes at a 145. I think that's what Mehdi is best at. He's not meant to be opening, because he does tend to struggle a little bit against a moving ball. That was why they also kind of realized that and said, no, let's keep him lower down the order. So I think they do have a next generation. The key for them will be, can they maintain that consistency? Because the major problem that plagued Bangladesh over the last decade was that you knew a Mushfiqur could damage you on a given day. You knew a Shakib could damage you on a given day. You knew a Mahmudullah could do it. But would they do it consistently? No.
And if you look at it in this World Cup, honestly, Mushfiqur Rahim has been very underwhelming.
He started off okay, but after that just tapered off badly.
Rahim's been very, very poor with the bat, I may say.
No, he started the tournament pretty well. I remember he had a couple of 50s in the beginning, but after that it's gone downhill for him.
Mahmudullah has been the star, and today it took a brilliant piece of work from Marnus Labuschagne. I mean, I think he ran close to 20 meters.
And then that diving throw forward.
And that's why, had Mahmudullah stayed in the crease, I think you would have gotten close to 330.
16 meters was the distance.
16. Wow. I mean, that is really, really awesome in that way. So that's why he had 2 runouts, in fact. Marnus Labuschagne. One was Nazmul Hussain Shanto, and the other one was Mahmudullah. Mahmudullah, I think he ran and then had an underarm.
That was the Mahmudullah dismissal.
Had Mahmudullah stayed on the crease and had Nazmul Hussain Shanto was looking good, I think you would have had 330.
You could have easily had 320, 330, maybe more. You don't really know. So I think, they have done okay to restrict them, but 300 chasing.
But I think that bowling has been an issue for the Australians since the beginning of the tournament, because I remember talking about this in the starting of the tournament, that they have potentially come in with just one full-time spinner. Glenn Maxwell's bowling has been a blessing for the Australians, but if you have come to India, you cannot back on one spinner, and plus Pat Cummins not performing with the ball in this tournament has just added up to that. Zampa's tournament has gradually gotten better, and that is why they are today they are in the top 4. But I think the spin bowling area of Australia is a very big problem for them.
You know who was actually a big miss in that regard? Ashton Agar.
Yeah.
Because if they had Agar, then there would have been no problem. They wouldn't have been having to try and force the issue with Stoinis.
Yeah.
Because with Stoinis, again, I know brilliantly destructive with the bat. With the ball, he doesn't tend to contribute enough in the ODI format. But even in T20s, he bowls maybe a couple of overs.
That's
so
right, yeah.
I think they would have gone with what's his name?
Ashton Agar.
Ashton Agar.
Yeah.
They're 100% gone with him. He would have deepened their batting attack and also given you that additional bowling option.
But see, if he would have come in place of Stoinis, I feel.
Correct?
Yeah.
But unfortunately that calf tear that he had
Suffered at the worst time.
But why has Head started? Head,
He is bowling.
The problem is that only that he is also not giving that attack with this bowl also.
But again, Travis Head is part-timer of part-times. He rarely bowls, and when he bowls, he kind of ensures that okay, he gets at least an economy of 5 or can take a couple of wickets, but he doesn't do it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, he bowls more regularly, I dare say, in Test cricket, which isn't saying a lot because again in Test cricket you can say I think normally their second spinner choice 99% of the time is Maxwell. Maxwell, I don't think they're resting. He may very well have been feeling the after effects of that game against Afghanistan, so they've had to, have no
Wrap him in
choice.
cotton wool, yeah. That's kind of happening at that point, I think. But Maxwell will be fit for the semi-final.
Yeah, of course he'll play the semi, but I don't think they wanted to risk him in this particular game.
Because see, they have already qualified for the semi-final. Come what may the result, they lose, they don't lose, they will still play that semi-final against South Africa. So that's why that is the current situation. And looking at it, Bangladesh, if they win Champions Trophy is theirs. Bye-bye to
Sri Lanka.
And the Netherlands then. Because they are not making it unless Netherlands pull off the ultimate rabbit of the hat and beat India. Which I think is not happening. Which is not happening at this point. And that's why on the host broadcast are showing some classics here. Australia, England, remember, their first ever victory in a World Cup came in India. And that's
Can we take some comments?
Yeah, let's take some comments. Yep. And they're showing the Leeds encounter, Australia versus South Africa.
We'll take a few comments and then wind this up. Let's see. Do we have any supers?
I don't think we.
No, I think I recall seeing one.
Yeah. Okay, Ashish, they're saying India not favourites for World Cup till they win the semi-final versus New Zealand.
We were just talking about this off camera. We were just talking about this only off camera.
But even if they win, see, they could face Australia. Even then, that's a
tough.
50-50 contest, boy. I'm telling you, it's not easy.
I'll be very honest. If you're playing against Australia, the final, I'm going to give India that 55%. I'm just going to give them an edge ahead. But with New Zealand, I'm going to keep New Zealand a little. I'm going to give them that 1 or 2% extra chance.
Yep, indeed.
Freaking Awesome makes a good point saying that the day game should start at 9:30. Then only the game will be completed before sunset. Mehmudullah wicket slowed down the Bangladesh innings, otherwise they could have scored close to 340. I agree with him on both points. Actually, I think the only problem with that 9:30 start is it's not ideal for broadcast. That's the only reason it's starting at this time. But
that's why you start at 11. That's the problem. So
and the dew factor will also play in then if you start at 9:30 start.
Yep.
If you look at 9:30.
So Ashish, if Pak had qualified today, India will play Pakistan on 15th in Kolkata instead of 16 as reported by your team. Well, Ashish,
if Pak had qualified, then India would have played Pak on 16th.
16th in Kolkata.
The date wouldn't change. Just the venues would. India's venue would swap.
The date would change.
Oh yeah, the date would change. Sorry. Yeah.
The date would change because Kolkata would be India versus Pakistan on 16th. 15th would have been Australia versus South Africa in Mumbai. But Pakistan are not qualifying.
Piyush Randre making a good joke saying run machine Harrisroff is trying hard to beat Quinton de Kock.
As I told you, he is there. If he was a batter, he would have really been
there
on the charts. Yes. So that is why it's going to be...
Go slightly down. There was one more I wanted to take from... it was Piyush Randre only saying that Afghanistan and Bangladesh both hammered the Aussie bowlers.
That
Imagine what SA will do if they bat first subject to a Kolkata pitch, provided.
As I told you, I mean, even South Africa hit over 300 against Australia in Lucknow. And because of that, if South Africa bat first, I think it's game over for Australia. I don't see them winning on a consistent basis then there. So That is going to be the situation that we are seeing. And why are Oz bowlers struggling? Even playing IPL and series in India almost every year, but every bowling attack struggles in India.
And truth be told, with this Aussie team, they've been severely outdone by the fact that Stark hasn't been firing as much.
Yeah.
With Stark, you have that genuine new ball threat. Then you have someone like Cummins who can come in and add the pressure.
Yes.
But the problem is the Stark hasn't been getting you that many wickets up front. So Cummins, his natural role, he's been having to adapt and not been doing a very good job of it. Hazelwood also has been kind of hit or miss.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. If Stark gets going, what was the main reason that Australia won in March? Mitchell Stark. The way how he picked up wickets, how he ran through opponents, it was the reason why it's happening. Harish Kaushik, is Australia the underdogs this time against South Africa? Keep in mind, it says batting strength.
No.
Yes, they are the underdogs.
No,
No, it's a conditional underdogs. If South Africa bat first, then sure, I think they're favourites. But underdogs, I think would be
No, even if South Africa bat first, I don't think Australians are the underdogs, that too in a knockout game.
True. And especially when you consider South Africa's record in knockout games.
But again, remember, Australia, even if you look at this team, they did lose in the semi-final against England. That England team had momentum. This South Africa team also had momentum. So that's why it's in that case. Piyush Nandre is saying, I want SA in final. Oz is not team that deserves to play final, honestly.
But then if you go by deserve to play, I don't think even South Africa have shown weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Even New Zealand don't deserve.
Ha,
India, just because they are on home turf, they are doing in this way. If it was a neutral venue, even India didn't deserve to play them. So let's be happy with the situation that is there, and that is why you're in an ideal situation. India is in the semi-final. Your other top three teams are in the semi-final also. And look at the symmetry. India has won. South Africa did not beat India. Australia did not beat India and South Africa. New Zealand did not beat India, South Africa and Australia. That's the symmetry that you have had this time. Freaking awesome. We'll take one last comment. I want history to repeat itself. Australia never beaten South Africa in India, 4 out of 4. And New Zealand never beaten India in India, 3 out of 3. Correct?
In World Cups.
Yeah. So that they will have an India-South Africa final. Complete the comment.
Complete the comment indeed. 80% of Indian cricket wants RSA to win Australia versus RSA semi-final.
I don't know, Piyush. I think it doesn't matter who you're facing in a final.
There is a grudge. 24-year grudge is very difficult to ignore.
23, but yeah, you get your point.
24. I mean 1999.
Oh, 99 that way. Sure.
1999 World Cup and then 2023. South Africa want a closure of that chapter and they are very determined to do it. So if South Africa get to the final, good. Many people are predicting a New Zealand South Africa final, which would be great for cricket because then you are having only your first World Cup winner.
Yeah, guaranteed for cricket, but terrible for us.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think India are fine.
It's
even
a
without
sport.
winning the World Cup.
It's a sport after all. And sport deserves some winners. Pakistan won it in 92, Sri Lanka won it in 96.
But you'd want India to play the final and win it, of course.
But what if you lose in the final?
Come on, Sidvi sir.
I mean, why not? I mean, see, I'm just backing sporting merit. I'm not backing emotional merit at this point in time. That's the way I look at it, folks. Let's see how it goes. We just have this one more game and the other game is happening between Pakistan and England. That's a dead rubber. And then you've got another dead rubber tomorrow, which is India versus the Netherlands on Diwali Day. Thank you, ICC
last
and
league
BCCI.
game.
The last league game. After that, we move to the real tournament, which is the semi-finals on the 15th. So, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Day. Remember, there's also Pakistan, England when that happens.
Harris Rauf has been taken to the cleaners.
Again?
3 over 30 for 31.
Wow, who's going after him?
Both of them are going.
Both of them are going. Yeah.
Okay, must have been Johnny Best too.
Finally, he decides to wake up.
Yeah,
Idiot.
Finally, Johnny decides to wake up at this point, and that's why
Johnny, yes, Papa.
beating Haris Rauf. Yes,
Papa.
Yes.
He's not even trying to deny it.
Haris Rauf has been taken to the cleaners all throughout this tournament.
Oh yeah, bad.
I'll have to do a check. How many runs has he conceded in this entire
I think the Indian wickets don't help him because he's a bowler who just generates pace. He doesn't have that control over his
I don't
line length.
understand.
That just gives that advantage to the batters.
What the hell is Babar Azam thinking?
Nobody knows.
You have a Wasim Junior.
Exactly.
Why are you making Haris Rauf when you want?
Nobody knows what is
Has he
going
lost
on.
it?
Exactly. Haris Rauf, if he's going to be of any help, it is going to be in the middle.
Yeah, he needs to be the
Definitely
first
not.
change.
It's giving a treat to the batsman by giving Haris Rauf the starting.
You've got the field up.
Wait. Let me just do the calculation bit.
I don't know what is going on in his head. What is he planning?
Okay, just note all the numbers down if you can. Okay, 43.
Pawan BF, you can do that.
Pawan, if you can. 43. Just open the calculator and then see. Because
I'll calculate it from here.
Okay, 43 plus 64. If you can get those two numbers
Okay,
up.
let's say 43 plus...
I really want to do this before we wind up.
43 plus 64.
Plus 43. Plus 83.
Oh dear.
Plus 53. Plus 62. Plus 36.
Okay.
Plus 85.
Okay.
Plus 31. Now, currently so far.
500.
He is...
36 was against whom?
36 was against Bangladesh. 2 for 36.
Okay.
Wow. 500 runs. That means he's well past Rohit Sharma and David Warner. Rohit Sharma and David Warner are 442 and 446 respectively. So he's only 50 behind Quinton de Kock, 65 behind Rachin Ravindra. Excellent. Harisov is in
could
the
very
third
well
position.
get there by the end of this match.
Well, if he can get over 100 runs, then okay. 570 runs, most as a bowler. Brilliant.
Amazing.
And in 9 games.
I really want to ask what exactly is Babar Azam thinking. What is he doing? You have Wasim Jr. as a... Yeah, this is basic cricketing logic. What is he thinking? We'll surprise them with pace. Yeah, these are England batters.
It's not even about that. The Indian wickets are generally slow by nature. That is the nature of Indian wickets. So when you give that extra pace to an opener, it's a treat for him. If I am an opener, I would want a bowler to be as fast as possible. Because I can just touch the ball and it'll go. He's not even bowling good lines or...
And by the way,
If the car's not on the boundary, first ball. By Johnny Best.
England in a mood, dear God.
Yeah.
Today is the day.
So look, if England get to 350, Pakistan have to chase down in 6 overs, my friend.
So it doesn't matter. Then I'm telling you, Pakistan are deflated.
Yeah.
Only a deflated captain makes decisions. Why has Wasim Jr. not bowled an over till the bloody 8th over? Is he mad? I mean, I'm offended.
Yeah.
On Wasim Jr.
Now I used to think that those Pakistani YouTubers who shout a lot just do it for the views, but now I understand why they actually do it.
So if I had
Because
this
that is a
captain,
true emotion. Yeah. I can totally get it
Shane
now.
would transfer into the angry rant man.
Jigar,
Yeah.
I get it, yaar. What the hell is he doing? Nonsense.
Yeah, that's how Pakistan is, that's how Pakistan are, and
Maybe
that's how
the
Pakistan
last time
will
he's
be.
captaining also.
Exactly.
Great way to...
So he's decided to go out in a blaze of glory.
So, if Pakistan concede 400, they'll say, wait,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be us.
हाँ ये उल्टा कैसे हो
ये
गया?
उल्टा कैसे हो गया?
See,
That's the thing.
England will either get bundled up for 250 or they'll
Or
get
get 400.
400. There is no in between for them.
Yeah. So, not good news for Pakistan, as each and every ball is like a dagger into their hearts at this point in time. So,
They have to chase
okay,
it.
definitely Pakistan chasing more than 50. So, 2.3
Another
equation
four.
is gone.
Another boundary.
If they go past 150, 4.1 equation is also gone.
Dear God.
300, 6.1, that's the only realistic equation that they have at this point. So, that's about it. Enough of Pakistan bashing at this point. Thank you so
No,
much.
there'll be plenty of time for it.
Yeah.
That will
in the
happen.
middle race.
Yep, so from me, Shashwat and Shane, it's bye-bye. We'll join you for either the Bangladesh Australia match end or the England Pakistan mid, whatever comes earlier. Bye bye.
Vada.